Hello, everyone. Welcome to another game of round three between the Montreal Shark Tank and the Pork Roll Protocol. We have a Web Warrior versus Spider Foe battle here. Let's take a quick look at the teams again, just as a reminder. They've been playing these teams throughout the whole event. We have TGLord's Spider Foes, bringing in a few new Spider Foes as well, so that's pretty exciting. And on the other side, we've got Jin's Web Warrior team. Got Blob in here. You had Blob the first time?
Yes, he
Okay,
did.
okay, all right. I forgot about that. And yes, he's got Disarm and Mass Menace. Yeah, just pretty cool. We're gonna let them know we're live. Joining me on commentary is Vodka Blitz. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great. What about you?
I'm doing good. Excited for the weekend now that my work week is over, and yeah, so I'm excited for this matchup. I know both the players they're very, very good players, and it's thematic as well. So there's bonus points there. So let's see how it goes.
Absolutely, I am super excited for this game. As you said, super flavorful matchup.
Okay, we have TGLord winning priority, and it looks like he's chosen his blue. Hold on, blue selected extracts, so he
Yeah.
got his secures, which is why we got pay to flip, and we got paranoia. All right, so paranoia, and on a B-shaped secure, Jin maybe a little bit. He's got a he had a bad experience last time he played on was it this crisis combination that he played on where his Deadpool got taken out while
Uh,
holding a
no,
paranoia,
I think it was
or was it
Scoundrel.
Scoundrels? Oh, okay.
I think it was Scoundrels. Here being on a pay to flip is an entirely different beast. I do
Yes.
think Jin is probably glad he got paranoia out of his extracts, but um, being a pay to flip might still not be what he was looking for.
Right. I mean, he's the thing is that you're still probably going last here in this situation, so at least you will have the chance to like flip back any points that may be flipped on your side. Like you'll have like that last activation chance to hit parity or even maybe take a break parity. So we'll see how that comes into play. He has Deadpool. He has Deadpool, which has healing factor, so he can pick up a paranoia and be at full health. But let's see, Lizard. Does he have Lizard? I'm sure Doc Ock TG Lord has Lizard here. There he is, and so it's like he can do the same type of thing. And Deadpool Lizard's a little more tougher, so he can survive on the midline better than Deadpool can.
Yep.
So that's what I'm seeing. Does he have Toad here? Yeah, interesting. Do they both have Toad? They both have Toad. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them bring Toad here, because they both need to grab two things from the center, and
Yeah, I wouldn't
yeah,
be surprised either, especially if they're going for 16 threat. Just allowing that extra flexibility when you bring a 2 threat is really big.
so for paranoia, I gotta read this card again. So does Sandman the grunts work for counting the bonus VP, right?
Ooh, that is a
And
good question.
Sandman has healing factor.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting how you could actually be in a position where you can grab with Sandman. So actually, you could just send a grunt up to avoid the damage
yep,
from that. But you also, because you have healing factor, you could also have your grunt sit back if you wanted to. I mean, I guess there's some flexibility there, but I don't know. Do we think we see Sandman on Mutant Madman? I don't know. I
I
just don't know.
I definitely hope so. I'm not sure he's the right call. I think it's gonna depend a lot on the threat cost Jin chooses for this mission.
Yeah.
Uh, Here going at 16, I wouldn't expect to see Sandman here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I mean, at 16 threat, I'm thinking you bring two fours for 8 threat, and then two threes and a two.
Yeah,
So you'd bring like Awk, Rhino, Lizard, Toad, and then fill in the 3 threat of your choice is probably what we're seeing. 16 threat. So on the
yeah.
on the Web Warrior side, we would see Miles, Spectacular, Toad is 8, and you could. Does he have two threats? I don't know if he does. So you might bring
I
Um,
don't recall Jin having two
he
threats.
does. He does not. Nope. So you basically have to bring. Maybe you bring up to Agent Venom and Spider Woman.
Yeah, that would.
It's
So I think
reasonable.
Spider Venom's probably a decent pick here, if only because of the four physical defense and just having an overall solid power generation.
Yeah. Plus, you're bringing all spiders except for Toad. I think. Right? Is that? Oh, actually, we might see Deadpool here. Right?
Yeah,
Let's see how many spiders he brings. Right? Because the all webbed up, the damage side of the card, it obviously doesn't work with unaffiliated characters. It only works with web warriors, and so the card becomes more powerful when you bring more spiders.
more
So
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
let's see what he does there.
yeah. This is definitely going to be an interesting game. I think both players have solid options here, and the scenario, like that particular combination of crises, I don't think favors particularly any one of the two.
Yeah, it's probably like okay. So the 16 from web warriors, the common one without Toad, would be like a four threat, and then four threes. So we could see like the three common spiders like spectacular, and then Black Cat, um, and then Miles, and then you bring Deadpool as your fourth three maybe, or you bring Gwen, and then you have your fourth threat, which is going to be, I mean, it's basically you pick Spider Woman or Agent Venom, whatever one you feel like playing. I don't know which one's better here, but
I
that
think I'd
seems
be
reasonable.
inclined to pick Agent Venom because there's not that many big energy attacks coming from the other side, say for characters like Electro, which I don't think we're gonna see here. So I think Agent Venom's probably a pick I'd prefer, if only because his ability to play the pay to flip game is a lot better than Spider Woman's.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. He's got higher damage output too, and so
He's got the ability to throw size 3 characters, so this still lets him displace a majority of the foes.
right, yeah, good call. So well, interesting to see if we end up having Agent Venom on the board here.
From TGLord's side, I think I'm gonna expect, right, like you said, Rhino, Doc Ock, two threes and a two. So I think Lizard's probably a good bet. Shocker would be interesting, and Toad.
Yeah, that seems
Maybe
reasonable.
Craven too, because Craven's decent at fighting on a B side line with his ability to go back and forth. So I think he could be a solid pick.
Well, we're dead on here. He brought that exact squad shocker as the last option, and we've got sacrifice brace, surprise webhead robbery, and exceptional healing. Interesting. I think I would have chosen the custom upgrades instead of exceptional here, but because like I don't know how much attacking web warriors are gonna do, but that's I think that's maybe a preference pick. On the other side, we're seeing the we're seeing Blob and Deadpool with Spider Woman, Black Cat, and Miles. Very interesting. Blob
Nice.
is
I
a
am.
pretty cool pick here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really digging the blob pick here. Being able to displace and reduce the power generation of some of these characters, like Lizard, can make him pretty miserable.
Yeah, we've all webbed up mission, mass menace, brace, fallback. All right, so all good cards on both sides. Everyone like, of course, like that's just like how it works when people are trying to win, like are playing as competitive rosters as they can build. Basically, all the tactic cards are always like very good cards, right? It's just like
That's usually the plan.
yeah,
Looks like we're
not
seeing.
a lot of nothing like too risky, right? Nothing except for what that one janky card you guys brought, Daughters of Thanos.
Yep. Honestly, it's really not that bad.
No, yeah. When I realized there's no range restriction on it, that was like
Yeah.
when eye opening because I didn't realize that's a pretty interesting factor on that card. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's how that's where
We're
we're at
seeing
here.
Blob on the far side opposed to Doc Ock, and I think that's a right call because just because Doc Ock can pretty reliably displace Blob, and they're at range 3, and there's not much Blob can do to stop it. Um,
Yes.
so I think that's a good call here.
So yeah, TGLord does have Lizard on the other side, like on the other side too. So it's like I wouldn't be surprised. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised to see Lizard on the other side where Blob is, but you now are putting Shocker and Lizard on the same side, and they're kind of like the same function. I don't know like if it's good or bad, but let's see where Lizard goes. It'd be interesting to what area he picks here. But Rhino going in the middle is unsurprising. Lizard probably is gonna be deployed in the middle, right, to grab a middle paranoia. I would imagine.
That's what I would expect. Just being able to go like to either one, and Rhino being able to attack the other person grabbing the paranoia, I think is a solid pick.
Yeah. So
I think depending on what Jin on how Jin deploys, there's also an argument to pick up the one near Shocker and Blob, um, just because it's pretty far removed, and the one near the medical truck in front of Doc Ock is pretty unobstructed for TGLord to pick. So I think there's a reasonable argument for being able to pick either sides.
yeah. Oh, excuse me. I think that this is when I see the truck there, I'm like, why didn't Jin pick the side that TG Lord is on? Because that truck, it's like it's a great line of sight blocker if you want to pick up the piece. So it's interesting that he opted for this side,
I
but
agree,
yeah,
especially with the big silo that cannot be deployed on. I think that might be worth asking Jen after the game.
yeah. Okay, so it looks like Toad and Doc Ock are on the same side here, and we have Rhino in the middle with Lizard off to the side, and then Shocker on a flank. That's fully deployed. We've got Black Cat in the middle, Spider Woman, Miles on the top, Deadpool, Blob on the bottom. I like keeping the spiders together. It makes sense for if you do play all webbed up. You're like you can play all webbed up on one character, and then you activate the other web warrior, and who might still have power on them to like web swing and get extra even more dice on top of that. Things like that. So um, I like the idea there. You also have like this your both your steals on the like your same side, which sometimes is not a like I don't know if it's when it's the best idea, when it's the not, but it allows you to basically get like if you want to, you could in theory steal on this side or ensure a steal by having multiple of them and then rotate to the side that has like your beefier characters. Anyway, we're seeing Toad go first with TG Lord and grab a paranoia, take a damage, but he's
Yeah.
on the mutant madman trap to defend it, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of like opening with Toad here because it's the side that is the furthest removed from like either threats or characters that are easily able to pivot for any of the three other disturbances. So now it kind of forces Jin to either go to the middle or get in line to be attacked by Shocker and Lizard.
Yeah, yeah, interesting here. I would have. I think that the one thing that I'm seeing about this is that I feel like TG Lord's. What is the range three? Is range Shocker's a range three builder, right? It's four
Yeah,
dice. And Lizard also has range three builder. Okay, I mean, so does Doc Ock. That's kind of crazy now,
yeah,
actually, to say like three of these characters all have range three builders. Okay, but I feel Ox is by far the best of the three of them. I would
yeah,
have loved to see if Doc Ock, like obviously you don't know, and he put Doc Ock down first. But I would have loved to see Doc Ock be on the side, like across from the other paranoias so
yeah.
that he could have gotten that attack off on round one potentially. So it looks like Ock is probably not going to get any attacks this round. Let's see. Deadpool is picking up a flank, and he's using healing factor to heal it back off. He is also important to note he's away from Rhino, so Rhino is not going to be able to attack Deadpool on round one. So let's see
Yeah, I think
what he
the
does here.
Lizard to pick the disturbance near the terrain that can grant cover is the right call.
Well, so oh yeah, so that the webs don't get cover from the paranoia. Also, it's slightly farther away from Rhino compared to the other one. So basically, TGLord has left the last paranoia to be grabbed by the web warriors,
Yeah,
be the closest one to Rhino. So that's I mean, I'm sure that was intentional, right? Or like that was like the when he grabbed with Lizard, he was thinking about that. I'm sure.
yeah, that feels very very deliberate.
Okay. So now Jin has to make a choice as to which character will be attacked by Rhino, because that's almost certainly the play pattern that's going to happen in the near future. So, I mean, who would you send up here out of these three choices?
I think Black Cat just because it puts like uh it gives more leverage to Jin, just because if she takes damage and gets robbed, she then probably has power to steal next round. And she's the tankiest of the bunch because crits don't explode, there's no rerolls. She can take a fair hit here.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. The spike potential is definitely lower. I think that Jin is seeing the Auk threat of him moving and attacking. Although I don't think it's anything real because Auk has to flip that point. But just to be safe, he's staying far away from Auk. Let's see what TGLord does next. If he Shocker, TGLord can hold Shocker. Like he doesn't. It's like there's no threat on Jin flipping the back trap for TGLord. So for I guess like Spider Woman can threaten the Toad one, but she'd have to roll over Toad. Maybe she does do that to try to break parity on the secures as a last activation, and it also
Yep.
puts her in range of Toad. So I would be interested to see if that's what
Are we gonna
happens.
see another Montreal special?
So, yeah.
Spike and forward the crit.
Oh
Forward the
my
crit.
goodness! Oh no, my goodness! Oh, dead.
Oh,
Oh,
five
five.
successes. He needs to
He's
convert.
got two rerolls, so let's see
Yeah,
if it
but he needs to
happens.
convert at least one.
Oh no!
If not, he just goes down, and that's another. And that would be another very brutal
Oh
strike.
my goodness!
All right, converts
Oh
at
my
least.
gosh, that would have been crazy. Shocker gets 5 on 4. Oh my goodness. I
Five on
would I
five.
would say
Five
you
on
love
five.
this five. Okay, he rolls a 5 dice builder.
Yep.
Oh man, I would
It's
say I
still.
love to see it, but I've seen it 3 times. Okay, all
It's almost getting boring.
right.
Um, and yeah, this event has been sponsored by Why You Don't Leave Characters on the Midline.
Yeah, that's yes, there have been important lessons learned.
Yeah,
It's
now trying to flip the portal. Get it. No kill like overkill.
yes. PHP Chrono says, should Cat have placed on the other side to make force Oct to stay close to Toad to score the bonus? Yeah, I think that Rhino's gonna lock in the bonus with Lizard like no matter what happens. So Ock, I think that ultimately Ock has to flip this point and defend it, or else Spider Woman will flip over Toad without any issues. So let's see
Blob
what are we
moved.
seeing
Flip
now.
the point.
Okay.
All right. And here, if you were TGLord, would you have surprised Webhead to try to get the days into Deadpool
Oh
and
man.
pick up the paranoia?
Uh, Chew, man, that would have been massive. I think you probably would, man. Like if you, oh
Because if
man, it
you
would be
get it,
absolutely insanely brutal. Um,
uh,
is there
I
any way to
not
stop it?
yeah, because fallback and mission
Yeah.
objective were up, so
Okay.
might have
So
been yeah.
you could have fall back mission objective into blob, so then negate it. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
still you're burning 2 cards for
cards
one.
for one, so
It
it's already a
seems.
very solid trade, and it negates the mission objective from Rhino, from
Yeah.
deny the robbery. So interesting.
Yeah, that is a good thought. I think that I would have been happy doing that. But um, yeah, okay. So we're seeing Rhino go now. There's no Black Cat basically has to stop Rhino from. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's any stopping this really.
uh, three
Ooh, that's a
going
big
in.
roll. No
Oh, the
crits.
Black Hat blocks it like a champ.
Wow, that was big for Jin. He needed that to keep
Yeah.
parity for the on the scoring there. So a couple things have gone Jin's way. I don't know, like taking 3 damage on Deadpool round one. I don't know if I want to say going Jin's way, but uh, he's definitely not had a disaster scenario.
But yeah, now this pretty much guarantees TGLord's proximity bonus because Rhino is probably gonna end up near a lizard. So this leaves Doc Ock. I think this opens up a window for Doc Ock to just move, flip the trap. If he rolls a crit, he gets to go again and move onto the medical truck and maybe try to deny or steal the back trap from Jin.
Right. He could roll a crit on the first roll, giving him a refunded power, and allows him to go for a second flip. So
Yeah.
I mean that's obviously why he lined him up the way that way to give himself that option. So yeah, pretty interesting. That could be pretty powerful if he gets it right, because you um you've got
I
like a
think this
60 something percent chance to roll over someone if you've got 4 dice.
at
Oh
75.
wow, is it really 75? It seems
Yeah, I think
high.
it's is it 75?
I don't
I
know.
think it's
I've never done
somewhere
it, so
between 65 and 75.
yeah. It's
Uh,
I know it's
it's
more than
it's
50, which
high,
is what was important. Like you have the odds to do it.
but here there's still a line for Jen to just body block it
Mm.
putting Ock, by putting Miles or a character on the truck, and well, looks like that's not what we're gonna see.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him on the truck, but
Yeah,
maybe that puts him in range 3 attack of Hawk. You've got cover. I don't know.
and Spider Sense three rolls, and like there's a lot of defensive shenanigans.
Yeah, so um well he basically I think the answer here is that Jin did that to not have line of sight on Hawk, so he didn't get hit at all. Is was the thinking.
Looks like Miles. Yeah, rolled for the point and got it.
I will be back in 1 second.
So now we're gonna see Doc Ock go for the point.
All right.
So we're seeing Doc Ock on the point, try to flip. Ooh, gets it, gets the crit.
Oh, we
So
got it. Let's see if you can get the
yeah,
other
he
one.
got his crit. Now, can he get in range, or does TGLord see the line? Oh, looks like he's gonna play a little more conservatively.
We'll see. He hasn't committed yet. I'm sure he sees the ability to do that. Like there's no way he hasn't. Been playing Spider-Foes for a while. In fact, he's currently in the TTS League top cut. I'm playing Spider-Foes. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. So he's got his game tomorrow afternoon, I think, right? Or is
That's
it?
yeah, I think it's tomorrow afternoon.
And he's playing a Spanish player. You're a convocation Spanish player, I think.
He's an Austrian player.
Austrian. Yeah, but either way, it's a convocation versus Spider-Foes matchup tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he sees it, and yeah. Oh,
But
he,
he's
I,
why is
oh,
he? So I guess like I don't mission objective. No, what is he doing that for? Sacrifice.
probably either that or proximity bonus.
Oh, so he gets it with Rhino though. I thought
Yeah,
Rhino and Lizard. So it's like I didn't like that. I think that was giving Spider Woman an option. Um,
yeah. To try to
so
flip from code.
yeah, she's got wall crawler. She doesn't even have to worry about this truck. Yeah, this was not. I think that TGLord could get punished here for what just happened.
Absolutely, and get punished fairly hard.
Yeah, this puts it if she gets this, which she is likely to.
Yeah,
Toad also takes damage then from the trap. So let's see if that happens. Let's see if that sequence happens here. Here's the roll. He needs 2 successes. Oh,
Ooh.
he doesn't get it. Spider Woman taking the damage.
Yep.
But I mean, they get power from this too, so she's gonna have 2 power next turn, which, um, so
It's
that
not
might
good.
help her with her kit, but still, the score is tied at 5-5 because they both have 2 secures, 2 extracts, and they both have the bonus point from the paranoia extract.
Yeah, paranoia is one of these scenarios where if you're not familiar with how it runs, it is arguably the fastest extract in the game. And here do we see Doc Ock take a damage? Looks like no. It is the fastest scoring extract in the game because allowing 2 players to score 3 VPs each goes real fast. So, like here, if we factor in both secures and extracts, there's functionally 10 VPs on the board. So we're looking at the round 3, maybe 4 round game.
Yeah, and the only other, of course, like the other option that lets you do this is senators, but with
Mhm.
senators you have to have 6 characters to be able to hold all get all the points. This paranoia lets you only hold. Well, hold on, 4. Yeah, to get 6 points is the only way to like score it faster than paranoia. If you had 6 characters all holding a senator.
And 6 characters holding senators is a very unlikely occurrence.
Yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, this one has consistently high scoring each round. That's why, yeah. Anyway, so now we're into round 2, 5-5. TGLord with priority here. Um, I mean, do you okay? So it's like, what's the option? The immediate thing that will catch anyone's eye is Rhino just needs 1 more power to rob Black Cat.
Yeah,
Deadpool has 1 health left, so that's another thing that is an issue. And what size is that truck? Size 3 truck. Doc Ock doesn't have enough power for that. But what can he throw? He can throw terrain, right? Doc
he
Ock?
can throw terrain or characters size 3 or
Yeah,
less.
so there's like the ability to go into Spider Woman, maybe get an extra power, throw the truck into one of the 2 spiders. Like those are like some interesting lines. And then
Yeah,
like you've got other options to rotate characters away from danger, like Toad. You could rotate him if you thought so, but Toad on a pay to flip means he kind of has to hover around the secures all game, or else uh, you're gonna lose on the secure fight, which um, it's tough to. You don't want to give that up for the most part because the other team can collapse on you while still scoring them.
for sure. I think here, if I'm TGLord, I would try to probably rotate Toad away towards Rhino, Lizard, and Shocker, just to make him a little safer from 2 extract droppers and Spider Woman and Miles. So just being able to double walk away towards safety. Yeah, I think that's the right call just because besides Toad, there's not that much pressure on his characters or the characters he has holding victory points.
Yeah, I see that as a decent line. Oh, hold on. How did Toad take a damn? Oh, the paranoia, right? Okay.
Yeah,
The only thing is like I don't like is I don't like how you've now basically healed Deadpool too. You know what I mean? Like, but is he
yeah,
shock? Is that a shock on him?
it's a stun.
Stun. Oh, it's a wild stun on Shocker. Okay.
But with both mission objective and fallback available, it's not that big of a deal, I think, because 4 damage is still not the end of the world and pretty easy to get. Uh, so like while it's not great, it's probably on Deadpool's side, which is the least impactful.
So I think at this point the something. I mean, wouldn't you want to move Black Cat away from Rhino? Because Rhino on 2 power with no targets is a pretty sad guy. It looks like Deadpool is opting to um, move. He's did legendary or legend. You can't spell legendary without leg day. Get a range 2 place. He's attacking into Shocker here.
Yep, I like that play here because now he's placed himself in a position to do Merc with him out on Rhino to nerf him down to 2 power, while still getting a good Deadpool activation.
Okay, so Deadpool rolled his bang, or he rolled a bang attack into Shocker, and he
Yep.
also got a rapid fire trigger on that, so a bang bang trigger. So here we're gonna see that come out now
Looks
too.
like TGLord is opting not to boost Shocker's defenses. This might be a little rough. Yeah, looks like we're seeing two other
Wow.
damage go through.
Okay.
I think the amount of power he had, it would have been a good idea to.
Yeah. He just got so much power. He doesn't spend it very well, right? He's got a built a spender that's does it stagger range
Yeah,
3.
Wild
Oh, this is pretty
Stagger,
good.
the defensive shield, and that's about it.
Yeah. So he should have probably just used it. Okay. Now he's gonna merc with a mouth. So Rhino has 0 power now, and Deadpool looking like he's jumping back, and hopefully Jin doesn't forget about healing factor. I'm sure he won't. That's the entire reason why he went with Deadpool now, to uh, get that health back before he flips over.
I think there's an argument here to just go with Shocker and be pretty aggressive forward. Just move near the trap. Um, and try to spender Deadpool.
Yeah, I like that too, because your lizard is going to probably rotate to where
Yeah,
Shocker was. Um, so it's fine. Like it's fine to abandon the point for now because lizard will be there. So yeah,
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. There's you don't see urgency on an awk activation up there. Or you basically need to. I guess the thinking there might be you wait for one of the spiders to activate so that you can like displace them and potentially displace them, and then flip the point back. Also, you could with you only have 2 power, so it's like if the spiders attack in a Doc Ock, you might have more than that to be able to guarantee like have all the power you need to do your activation exactly how you want to.
Yeah.
So let's see what TGLord does here. The Shocker play seems reasonable.
Yeah, I don't like eyeing Blob here just because Blob can probably just spend for his damage reduction and push Shocker away and make him like super sad. So I honestly like just going near both Deadpool and Blob because if he gets dazed by Blob, he wakes up and is still giving his shock aura,
Yes,
both of them.
very annoying to play against.
Oh, definitely is.
Deadpool, of course, does not like it. The least amount of dice, or the lower your dice pool is when you attack, the worse shock is for your character.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see what he does. Looks like he is eyeing up that play. Seems very reasonable.
Yeah, just trying to spender Deadpool afterwards. Like, yes, it does open up mission objective and to Blob, but I think you're still okay with that just because it gets it out of the way for robbery. Yep. We'll move here. And I would honestly expect a spender just with the amount of power Shocker has.
Yes. There's no exceptional healing on Jin's side, so Deadpool is just rolling 3 with a reroll and no way to prevent the damage from hitting you. So the mission objective is like the only thing you've got there to kind of like keep the extract parity.
Yeah, and if he does use mission objective because he is stunned, that leaves Deadpool on 0 power moving to his injured side.
Ooh, that would be kind of
Yep, we're
brutal.
seeing Fender into Deadpool. 7 die energy.
All right, so Deadpool's got 3 with
Uh,
2 rerolls. Let's see if he can
like
tank it. Ooh,
soft attack. But showing 3 to
that's
Deadpool's.
enough. Deadpool's got to roll one of these to block to survive. He rolled blank. He blanked out the first time. He got it.
Deadpool leaves to 1, so takes 2, goes back to the full 3.
Wow, he's scary.
Yep.
Man, playing with the character with a 4 health on the front side is it's a dangerous game.
Needing 3 successes to get it here, and he does. Oof, that is
Wow, big
pretty
roll.
rough. That one is about a 50-50.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, wait, two was a 50-50. My bad. That one's about two. I'm bad at math. It's Friday night, not not the hour to do math.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not worried about it.
But yeah, that's pretty big because it forces Blob to. It denies the ability. It denies Blob the ability to flip both points.
Right. Okay. So it's
Whew.
the okay. So this is now does Black Cat go now that Rhino has zero power?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I like moving here on the point, trying to flip it. Um, it's uncontested. It's kind of free. You still move away from Rhino. The one thing I don't like about this is that it shifts all extracts away from Jin's two extract droppers. So they're in a kind of awkward position and overfighting Doc Ock.
Okay, so let's see here. We've got Jin getting the trap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Rhino's not Rhino. Lizard's still pretty likely to go flip it over her. But now, if you're TGLord, who do you go with?
I mean, like you can't really go wrong with Lizard here, flipping, moving over and trying to flip over, like, and then you're also, I mean, I think that seems like very reasonable.
Yeah,
And then if you don't get it or something, at least you've got Rhino who can move and attack into Black Cat, and if he does one damage, he then has a 50-50 shot to flip over her.
yeah.
So, like you've got a little bit of redundancy here to do that,
I
and yeah,
I honestly think I would go with Rhino first, maybe just because of that. Because since Lizard has the ability to be your most impactful activation to flip traps, uh, it might definitely be worth considering. No, I think he's eyeing if he can be both attacking Deadpool and on the trap. I think it is. It looks too far, and not something I would try at this stage of the game.
yeah, I agree. It's pretty it feels greedy, but sometimes you just can tell when you're playing the game. You just like you have the sense that it's gonna work.
Yep,
So
that's
maybe
fair.
so, but
But
yes, you want to measure. You want to prioritize the trap, and if you get within three, then you're lucky. Then
you take it, but wouldn't overextend over it for it. The
yeah,
one thing I don't like is that even if he dazes Deadpool, he has like no one to really pick it up. Like Blob can just move and pick it up, um, or otherwise it kind of stays on the ground, which is not and it's not incredible either.
yeah. I mean, the one benefit, or I guess would you play mission objective there? Or would you hold mission objective? The thing is, like, if you drop it off Deadpool, you put it like far away towards the board edge, and then Blob. Oh, I see. Blob would have to leave the point completely to get it, which would leave
Yeah,
it
so,
vulnerable for a pick. So it looks like he's eyeing up the the move
yeah,
and
it looks
attack in a Deadpool,
like
which is pretty
too
juicy if he can
far.
get it.
I don't think so. Looks too far. But I do think trying to get the attack into Black Cat's probably reasonable.
Yeah, if you just the only problem is if you don't get any damage through, you're you're kind of feeling
Yeah,
pretty sad about that. So,
but for
if
me,
you spike well, it could just it's a huge momentum shift, right? Because then you get to play the
yeah,
card too, and then you get to flip the point uncontested. So it's
yeah,
so
and I think
juicy.
just because it's the like it has the worst floor of the remaining activations, I would try it.
Right, right.
Oh, three is not bad. Ooh, which means at least two damage will go through, which is really big.
Yes.
And a full three connects.
Oh, so he won't be able to
Uh,
pick up the piece if he plays his card. and flip the point, but he can do he would be able to get
I think,
Lizard to flip it, right? So that you get ready for
yeah,
Lizard to flip it, and
that's what I would do. Just because like it does move Black Cat further from the action. Hopefully, and even just position yourself to body block Blob or at least be really obnoxious. Um, and yeah, like holding extracts, you're so far away from all the other extract stealers of gens. I think is a really good move. Yeah, looks like we're seeing the robbery. Picks it up, takes a damage, and we get to throw Blackhead away medium.
yes. All right. I have to
Oh,
I will be right back. I have to set up the other game on my other stream channel. So,
good.
all right, I'll be right back.
Oh, what's happening? Oh, nice. Oh, for the days on Black Cat. That is pretty clever. Forcing the brace out. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Very good idea to throw Black Cat and get the days here. I think it's a pretty clutch move because it makes her activation kind of awkward next round. Although she might be in a position to grappling hook and steal from Rhino top of next round. So yeah, now this puts a lot of pressure. Yep, where it looks like we're seeing Blob go into Shocker. Looks like they did remember the minus dice. Still no defensive buff from TGLord, but at least roll a solid block. Ooh, no damage. That's kind of what you want to see because now it forces Blob to go again. We're seeing still no defensive buff. 4 against 4, fair MCP. But takes the one and goes down, which gives Blob the opportunity to flip the point. Gets it pretty easily. Now I think Lizards
Okay.
going flipping the point near Rhino is probably going to be the call.
He went with Blob, and what happened? Did he dazed
Um,
Shocker? He flipped the
he
point back. He did.
can attack and flip the point back.
Okay. Very
Uh,
reasonable. Very reasonable.
Played robbery and threw Blackhead into the tank to either force the brace out or daze her because she already had taken a damage from the paranoia. So we have a dazed Blackhead.
Okay. All right. So just so anyone knows who's watching right now, I have another Twitch channel and another Steam account and another TTS and another computer. And because I have all that, I am able to have another game being streamed from part of this same Rivals event on my other channel. The other channel is just called Chic Gaming. And go ahead and watch them. That's Rob versus Nick. I mean, if you can see in my camera, in a blurry camera, that the game is happening right there beside me. They're
Yep.
just about to start. And so yeah, you can check that game out if you want to see what's going on over there. It's just on a game chat though, no commentary. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Anyway, back to this one. Yeah, lizard to go here to flip that point.
Which is now uncontested and fairly easy pickings.
Yes. And it
Um,
also sets up the bonus points on the paranoia.
yeah,
So also, wait, are all of the paranoia on the bottom? Wow,
yeah,
that's
they are.
intense.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think Jin is gonna have to pivot either Spider Woman or Miles, and this just opens up Doc Ock to be able to play both traps really well on top here. So it kind of puts Jin in an awkward position because if he stays with both Spider Woman and Miles up top here, yes, he'll get the advantage of secures, but with the amount of threat involved in the bottom, I think the extract game is going to be extremely relevant here.
Yes, yes, that's it's yeah, it's great. Like you're scoring 4-2 on extracts just alone, and
Yeah,
that just makes the game go by quick. Okay,
I think
so
he has to be careful if he's moving up with Lizard just to stay within two of Rhino to be able to get that extra VP. Yep, looks like he remembered. I kind of like that play just because going forward near the trap means if he's within two, Lizard's going to take a damage and gain a power, which is kind of what you want. Just because there's no like big threats for Lizard right in front of him, especially with the Shocker Bubble. Uh, and he's gonna need all the power he's gonna need all the power he can get if he wants to have an impactful activation.
yeah, I can see that. The man, you've got a big web head, a surprise web head situation with all three of those characters down right all together, bunched up. The I would have loved to see instead of exceptional here. I would have loved to see custom upgrades on Doc Ock. Man, that would have been just absolutely.
Yeah, that would have
Once one of
been
these spiders rotate, it would have been absolutely brutal.
you fight them 1v1 and try to take it home.
Yeah, I mean, you could. What the situation is because the game is gonna go by so fast. Like if TGLord, who's gonna have priority, is able to take out like one or two characters before they activate on Jin's side, it's like you could lock in the game on that third round pretty like in a pretty straightforward way. And custom upgrades and surprise web head could be the cards. Like the combo itself is a pretty good way to do that. Looks like Miles is going, and I think he just got outside of range 3 of Doc Ock, or he tried
Yeah, but
to.
looks kind of looks correct to me. See, yep, manages to flip very easily.
Okay, so now that's Miles done. Spider Woman and Doc Ock to go. So let's see what Doc Ock does here with 2 power, not on a point, so probably taking a move action at some point.
Yeah, I
Let's see.
think going on the truck and trying to flip the trap also puts you outside of range two for Spider Woman. So you can try to build her and probably throw her away to make it more difficult for her to be able to flip the trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting the 5-5 split here again, but TGLord grabbing 4-1 on the extracts and Jen grabbing 3-2-1 secures on the extract.
Yeah, that bonus VP from the Paranoia is going to put TG Lord up if that's the case, though. So
Yeah, I really agree with Jacob Deaton in the chat. Like, I really love seeing strong generic cards like Blind Obsession and All You Got come back from like for like specific and more niche uses. I think it's a very interesting design space to get and better way, an interesting way to balance those cards.
yeah, okay.
Is
So
oh,
he's
looks
just
like
going into Miles, so he does have range on that. Okay.
that's pretty big because if he manages to get a big hit into Miles here, looks like three.
Okay, Miles going to use his spider senses, I would imagine, for a reroll 2.
Yeah, and then he still has his leadership reroll. There we go. Blocks it all like a champ.
Okay, but Doc Ock is a scientist, so he gets a crit for
Yeah.
a power for the crit he rolled.
Yeah, and I think moving back on the point, even if Spider Woman has good odds of flipping over, she still can fail like we saw
Yes,
the,
I was
the
just
last
thinking
round.
the same thing. She already failed once, so she's
Yep.
probably gonna do it again. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Of course, you need to. You need to flip this point here. It makes it tracks. If Doc Ock was able to do a damage like 2 miles there, we
So
you might have seen a throw off of like one of the spiders get thrown, and then you roll on a point to just make
he
it
still
harder.
might if he rolls a crit here.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks
that's fair. That's fair, but he didn't. So, okay. So
like
now Spider Woman has to do this, right? And then you throw it into free an attack into Ock after. I like what T. Oh, look at that. He's going for a. Yeah, he can't make that though. He cannot
no.
make that. But he. I don't know. Are you going after Toad here? You you have to be inside the B shape in order for your long moving small base character to reach the other. Um.
So she's not doing that and flipping a trap, but I think Jin correctly recognizes that he needs to pivot if he wants to have a chance to stay in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that her round one placement. Um. Although she probably didn't have the option to place on the crate, the chlorazine crate or whatever that is, the horrors, whatever that is. The It would have been better for her this round. But let's see what we're doing here. Rhino, yeah, look at you. I feel like you're gonna be
Yeah,
short here. I could be wrong, but yeah, there it is.
he is pretty short. Yeah.
I think your long base character has to be basically on the inside of the B shape, maybe overlapping it, but barely. And I would just be more safe, like where Doc Ock is in relation to his point, is where
Yeah.
you would have needed to put Spider Woman. Anyway, Spider
Like
Woman's
she's a
looking for a big hit here on Toad.
it's a very good start.
Whoa!
Two at least.
Interesting.
Uh
Needs one
so
more here to convert, and she gets him. That'd be crazy. There it is. Five into
no.
two. Oh, I'm wrong. My math was wrong. He's living on one health.
Yeah.
Uh,
But this does allow Toad to slippery away. Um which is still kind of obnoxious.
yes, very.
Still gain 2 power, one from Doc Ock's leadership and one from the damage. So he'll still be able. Yeah, looks like Toad. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
correctly gains two. Is he going to slippery? I would expect
Yes,
so.
I would as well. Very reasonable.
Yeah, like he's slippery away.
That's man. That would have been big for Jin, but he was not able to do that. So and now TGLord is in control. He just has to hold on to this lead that he's setting up for himself.
Yeah, and this is breaking parity in favor of TGLord, who's now going to score six to Jin's four.
Yes. So now, in order for Jin, so it'll be what 11-9 then. So if nothing, basically TG Lord is now in a winning position. Um, if so, Jin needs to score three. Like basically, the math is telling me that Jin needs to now score three paranoias next round and two Madman Trap as well, so that it goes 6-4 in his favor, which would put the game at 15-15 at the end of round three. So if Jin or TG Lord are able to get basically one more VP, um,
This could be really big.
after yeah, like if you like have, yeah, I'm just trying to think of like he's gonna go 211. So if TG Lord only loses one extract but keeps everything else, including the bonus point, he still wins the game.
Yeah.
So so that's the problem that Jin needs to solve on this next roll. Man, paranoia is just like is
So
intense.
yes. One of the things that's probably going to be rough for Jin going into next round is that if Lizard takes a damage from the trap here, top of round surprise webhead
Ooh,
from both Shocker and Lizard into Deadpool are very likely to get him. And now you've already dazed a character without even activating, and being able to steal those activations away are potentially really, really big. Yep,
yes.
looks like that's what they're checking. Lizard looks
Look,
inside of
he
two,
does.
so takes a damage, gains a power, which turns on Surprise Webhead for him.
All right. It looks like I'm looking over at the other game here. If anyone isn't watching, my other channel is streaming right now on Sheet Gaming. It's pinned right currently. We've got Rob playing Thanos, Red Skull 3, Zemo, Bullseye, Nebula. 19 threat, I think, looks like. And then Miles, Black Cat, Zemo. Spectacular, Ghost Spider, and Ben Riley as his 19 threat team. Demons, Scrolls. So we'll see how that one goes. It looks like it's going to be pretty intense, man. Spiders versus. I think that um, from what I've seen in this matchup, Thanos here has to do a lot of work to make up his threat. I've seen people have success against webs with this affiliation and leader, but going wider with a couple of fours instead of Thanos or something similar to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that one goes. Very interesting. Okay. Anyway, they're just starting up now. If you want to tune in or watch our game and their game simultaneously. All right. So we are now scored out at 11-9 for TGLord here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Now,
priority with TGLord.
I think opening up the southern flank here with Rhino or Shocker would probably be my guess. Um, I do like here just being able to have Rhino go, maybe chip an attack into Blob, and then either throw terrain at Deadpool, um, or just try to daze Blob with Surprise Webhead. Like you have a good amount of options here, and I think trying to take activations away is the way to go.
Yeah, I agree that getting that fourth extract just makes it way even harder
Yeah,
for Jin to find. I mean, so he does have Black Cat who can move and steal, and probably flip a point as like her activation. You do have mission objective to push the extract onto Blob, which is decent considering he can displace people.
yeah.
And he's tough and full health. And then but you'd also have Jessica here, who can move and glide and spender and pick up an extract with all of her power. So
But I think
I can see
kinda
Jin
has
getting more.
the code, right?
What's
Uh,
sorry?
just I think Spider Woman kind of has to go into Toad here, uh, if she wants to do all that. Otherwise, Toad just literally runs away in the corner for VP, and
Yes.
that's very dangerous VP, far away from anything that can threaten him.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. If do you like so do you rotate so you're saying rotate Toad as your first activation or
No, I think I would like to see Rhino go into Blob just in order to get that second VP. Just that second power for a triple surprise webhead with all three characters on the bottom side.
okay, but
Uh,
then would you who would you attack with the triple surprise webhead?
I think I'd go into Blob actually.
Okay. That's yeah,
Uh,
so okay,
oh,
so it looks like Shocker's going. He's gonna do a spender maybe? Or it looks like he's not. He's just
sure.
doing a 5 dice attack. Still
Yeah,
good though.
yeah. Showing a very strong three so far. This will very probably get that pool. Yeah, showing
Yeah, there it
five.
goes.
This is likely to force the mission objective out.
Yes.
The thing I kind of like here is that now Shocker is able to just do a spender into Blob. Um, and yeah, looks like we're seeing the mission objective into Blob.
Yes.
Uh, so that's an activation taken away from Jen already.
And the
Shocker can now
spender
try
is
to.
energy or
Yeah.
and of
I would
course.
still try to flip the point first because Blob can still push Shocker away from the point, and you edge your bet. Like you pay one, try to flip, then Spender Blob 7 energy with the Wild Stagger, and being able to stagger Blob here does put a big break on his activation.
Yeah, Patrick in the chat is mentioning that a line for Spider Woman is to kill Toad with a builder, giving you the ability to interrogate him. So
Oh, that's true. I think that's a very good call. It looks like we're seeing the Spender into Blob, choosing not to flip the trap. Oof, wow, a full 7.
Whoa, that is
Um,
huge. All 7 successes. Blob rocks nothing and he goes down.
if
Oh my.
if if the reroll doesn't convert.
Okay, okay, that's fair, but it
Oh, he
probably.
can live
Oh,
on
wait.
1 if he pays for the DR, but that is disgusting, and
That
he is
is really
also
brutal.
staggered.
And a stacker, yeah. Oh my goodness. That was a pretty big hit there for
And
Shocker,
with
man.
Surprise
Whew.
Webhead still up, I
It's
think I would,
obviously it's now you pull the trigger on that one for sure.
because both Lizard and Shocker can do it while still being able to pick up the.
Okay.
Yep. Now we see the DR that pushes. Yeah, that's
Oh
just
man, that
really
might be that
backbreaking.
might be I don't know, I think that the double days here, like I was saying, or like getting 2 days before characters activate would have been is like exactly what we're seeing. This is this is I don't know how. Let's see what happens. Obviously the dice have to be rolled, but man, this is gonna be brutal.
Yeah, this is still 2 attacks being able to go into Shocker, into Blob.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the Surprise Webhead here. Yep, looks like we see Lizard and Shocker both paying for Surprise Webhead into Blob, which I think is the right call. I think you do start with Lizard, weirdly enough, just because. Starting with Shocker. Not a big fan here, just because if Shocker actually gets him, now Lizard has no power and no way to flip the point. Looks like Blob lives. Will he need to spend the power for DR? Yes, he will. Oh, is it
How
the
does he
minimum
know
of
minimum
one?
of one? Oh, is it? Oh, I forget.
It is to a minimum of one.
Yeah,
So
so it
he
gets
Blob
him. Yeah.
goes down, and this gives the ability to Shocker to pick it up, and now um, he has TGLord has the 4 extracts.
Gosh, that is that is
Really
absolutely
rough.
brutal. Holy moly.
Very, very rough.
Webb's cards are pretty good. I don't know, man. Webb, that's his only affiliated card he brought. It's crazy how how the affiliation has changed so much with the release of that new pack and
Yep.
tactic
Looks like
cards.
Patrick had the right call. Just be able to move. Maybe even just do the spender and interrogate, right? Both. No, not if she wants to pick up the token. So just do a builder, and hope you get it to pick up both the senator, both the paranoia token and interrogate.
Yes. Okay. The wrong player has exceptional. Yep, that's right. I agree. The card, the Web Warrior or the Spiderfoe team was always going to be the team that was attacking more often than the Webs, or like generally speaking.
I agree.
Okay. So wait, hold on. Wait, what just happened? Why
Um.
why did she move there? Okay, there it goes. Oh, okay, Jin was debating whether he does a spender or not. Um
Yeah, looks like she is doing the spender just to make sure to get the days. Ooh, this might not even do it. Oh, yeah. That was a very tight call.
wow. But the problem is he doesn't have interrogate power, right? It costs 3, so that's a bummer. I mean, at this point, I would have risked it for the. I would have risked it. I would have personally taken the risk. Um, but I also haven't run all the numbers to make like
I
to
I
make
would
sure that
also have
matters.
risked it, I think, just because it's like the more dire your position, the more risky plays you have to take in order to edge your bets and just try to stay in this game. And I think this was one of these situations.
Okay,
Nope. Yep.
so
Looks
let's
like
see.
we're gonna see Black Cat steal from Lizard. She does. She
Ooh.
would to grappling hook first if she wants to
This
get
is
there.
TGLord's measuring to see if she can do it. So,
Oh, that's true.
so let's see. She's gonna steal from somebody, in all likelihood. So the question is, do you move Lizard away, or do you? Lizard doesn't have any power to flip though, and he has no way to gain power unless Black Cat comes closer. So interesting spot for Lizard to be in.
Yeah, I think with just how close Black Cat is to Rhino, there might be a world where she can grappling hook and steal from Rhino. Um, and it looks kind of too far, but it's worth measuring out. So yeah, I think there's a world where you might want to go with Rhino just to force Black Cat to be able to steal from only Lizard. Um, but that's a tough call to make
Yeah.
because here Rhino just double moves north, try to flip an uncontested trap, is within two of Shocker. That's already four VPs, right? Assuming nothing else changes. So now any of Lizard scoring one or Doc Ock being able to claim a trap would be good enough. And I think with last activation on Doc Ock, especially, the chances of him scoring out with only two extracts is really good.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's like I think all of the play patterns here are now pretty straightforward, and it's a matter of just dice a few pay to flip
Rhino,
rolls and things like that.
yep.
Okay. So now we're let's see what we
And
see here.
because Black Cats can't both steal and grab the trap, this is already five VPs, unless she can just move and be within one of Rhino of Lizard.
Yeah. Masked Menace here, like didn't not going out. Um, man, should it have gone out round two.
Oh,
It's like
it's
the fact they didn't use it is just like brutal, right? But web warriors have to pay for it. It's just the problem is that you already are tight on power with the web warriors to begin with, and then you're playing on pay to flips, and then you want to play Masked Menace like to start snowballing, or like that'd be the ideal, but you can't do all of those things. You just have too many. It's too much power restriction. I think or like it's very tight. It's even tighter on power, and you're already tight on power.
I agree, and I think it's probably not the best card to bring in these types of situation because you're not even sure you can afford it.
Yeah, it's I don't know the matchup enough to understand when to bring it. I've never played the card before,
I
so
think the card is new enough that like not everyone has figured out all its play patterns yet.
yeah,
That's also correct. That's also okay.
yeah. I think. Oh man, I don't know. Is there another out? Is there a different out here?
Uh,
I don't
I
know if I think
I
he
am
might be
not
in a
seeing it.
bad spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Jim's just in a very rough spot and trying to like see what outs he has. But things are definitely not looking great for him.
yeah. The new spider foes and the cards are just like have like upgraded them on the tier list pretty significantly, jumped to quite a few spots, and and like I've heard people talk about them in this matchup against Webs, and heard people from what I read, a lot of people believe that this is a favorable matchup for the Web Warrior or for the Spider foes
But
now,
yeah,
and I think we're basically seeing that because nothing. I mean, yes, we did have one spike on Blob there, but there was redundancy available with the surprise web head, and so I would say that that wasn't. I mean, that was pretty strong for a spike, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, and
yeah,
so like ultimately this game has just been like, so I don't know. Like I feel like this is I'm not surprised that the spider foes are beating the web warriors.
I agree, but it's in a very flavorful display here of just seeing Spider-Man's classic rogue gallery getting to um, give a lesson to the spider people. Yeah, looks
Yeah.
like we're seeing Black Cat move. Play all webbed up. All right, I am not disliking this. Um, yeah, looks like she's getting both Shocker and Lizards. Trying to build her Lizard to maybe just be able to spend one, flip the points. No, she still wouldn't be able to steal from Lizards.
She's looking
Uh,
for a mega spike,
yeah, I think you have to
basically.
figure it out.
6 dice with the Pierce coming up.
Against 4 with DR. That is not what you want to see.
Ooh, yeah, that's just brutal.
Yeah, and I think that's no. Why is he taking one?
Um,
What? Oh, flipping for the trip. Why did Lizard take one?
I don't think he did. Oh, hold on. He got a power from the. No, he didn't take one. He got a
Oh,
power.
he got a power
It's
from
just
the.
funny because now he's got a power to flip. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Great. Great. Leadership.
Yeah, doing some work here. Lizard just stayed there. Oh yeah, Black Hat failed the flip, so you just activate Lizard, heal, call it a day, and keep Doc Ock for last activation. But that kind of seals the game,
Yeah,
just because he is now scoring 6,
that's
and
right.
with only miles to go, it's not enough to
They're
take it home.
in the chat. They're talking about webs liking pay to flips, and I think that they do like them. The problem is that the spider people, the spider foes like them a lot. Like that, they bring them, whereas the spider people like are okay with going last on them if they lose priority. But this is like a weird catch-22 situation because like if you typically the webs team doesn't bring them, and if they have to plan them, they're against teams that specifically put them in their list, and probably have experience playing them. So uh, it's interesting spot. But webs usually go wide, and wider teams like pay to flips more generally speaking. So I don't know. Ultimately, I'm basically saying staying on the fence on that one. Actually, I don't know.
Ooh, looks
Okay.
like Doc is about to daze Miles, showing
Oh no.
246 successes. Will he just whoop Miles?
My
The final show of strength, I think he does. Leadership reroll. If it doesn't convert, Miles goes down. And that's a dazed
Oh
Miles.
man, that's
Just a
absolutely
good
brutal.
measure.
Cause he rolled. Wow, he just got him
Yep.
with 6 successes into one
Miles
block.
flips the points, takes it home, and that's one,
He's
two, and
gonna. That was one attack move. Can he
seven.
move? Yeah, that's it. All right. All right. We'll jump in chat here, and we'll give him a couple questions. Hey guys.
Hey, how's
Hello,
it
guys.
going?
Good. Thanks for letting us stream the game. Jin, when you didn't win priority and had to pay to flip, what were your thoughts on the match? And you got paranoia. You had to put characters on the midline. It was like
Hmm?
you had to basically face off against Rhino. What were your thoughts early on in the game?
I actually felt pretty good about the squad construction. I was really excited to take 16 to bring Deadpool and Blob. It's been a configuration I've been thinking about for a while. And Blob is, I think, pretty okay on a B shape, in that case, or E shapes. So I was like, oh, hey, we might actually get to see this particular squad in there. He didn't quite get to live
Right.
as I would want him to, but I thought the initial ideas was pretty good because Blob, he doesn't get thrown by Lizard as easily. He doesn't get pushed around quite as easily. So
Yes.
like, it might be an interesting counterplay. Like the only one I was afraid that he was going to go into him was Doc Ock, but he was the point on the other side of the board. So I was like,
Right.
okay, that's fine.
Yes, we
Yep.
saw that counter deploy come up like pretty right away. I think is what you did. So we
hmm
agreed that was like the right call to do that. It was yeah. I think that you made a lot of great decisions. We loved the taking Rhino's power away on round 2 with Deadpool.
Yes, that was really good. Yep.
And yeah, I think I mean, you just got in a situation where your spiders were not on the side of the board with the extract control. So TGLord did a good job rotating his extracts away
Away from
from,
the stickers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, TGLord,
Yeah.
what did you think of the setup? Were you happy with the team you brought?
Yes, I was for sure happy to win Prio and go on pay to flips against Webs. That was first thing. And Paranoia, I also have Paranoia on my list, so I'm good with it. Usually I have, with 16, I have Black Cat instead of Shocker, but with the 5 team event, I don't have Black Cat, so I tried Shocker and I think it did pretty well. Um, and yeah, but well, the dice, like I said to Jian during the game, the dice saved me a couple times, like when Rhino did 3 damage into Black Cat in
Right.
one attack, and then
Yeah,
I
that was
could
huge.
have robbery, and I think that was one of the turning point of the games,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
that's huge.
probably the 7 success
Yes.
on Blob after that.
Yeah.
That
It
Yeah,
was
that was
free.
super rough.
Yeah, I think it's. But I didn't like my first activation round 2 with Toad rotating. I'm not sure it was the good move. Like, and I like his Deadpool activation to mark with him out Rhino,
The
leave him
first
on 0.
round to oh, if I can just also mention the first round with Spider Woman just like diving this for four
Oh,
dice,
yes.
trying to get two
Yeah.
successes. I was like, that was pretty heartbreaking as well. I was like,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah, those
Yes.
are when you've got a majority chance to win it and it doesn't break your way. It's yeah, I can see that it would have changed things quite a bit if you were able to take the lead on round 1
100%.
on the
Yeah.
pay to flip. So I'm surprised you put TG Lord. I'm surprised you didn't like block it.
Yeah.
Why did you put Awk?
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, because I like kind of pre-measure with Spider Woman, and I thought she could have go over Toad. So I was like, there's no way I can block him,
uh,
but
Okay.
I think I could have finally.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought she had the speed to go over Toad, but I
Right,
made a
right.
mistake here too,
Yeah.
and the Dave site saves me again.
Vodka Blitz, do you have any other questions for the players?
Um. Oh yeah. Jen, I wanted to know what was your rationale behind taking the board that you took? Because you didn't have prio.
Oh, so actually, I like this medical truck here so that it gives Miles out of line of sight, so
Okay.
that it sort of protects him. That was kind of the majority of the reasoning. I just put up the map before, and you know, medium move gets him here, like no problem. Um, and then this was a nice little lane because like you know, Deadpool wants a clear firing lane, so like I figured like this was okay because like we did put a lot of pressure on the Shocker as you saw. And
Yep.
I think a block can be a decent backup as well, you know, during that, give him some clear push lanes as well on this side.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Nice. That makes sense. Because I was wondering, kind of because the medical truck also blocked your way for the paranoia, and the big silo can be rough for deployment. But you're measuring to get to the trap, and like the clear lane of fire all makes a lot of sense.
Yep, but good question though. Yeah, I don't know if that was like the best one, but like you know, looking at the map before, I was like, yeah, I don't hate this. So we'll see what happens there. Also, I figured like you know, like I wanted to limit the amount of well, I guess both sides actually have an even amount of size threes and size fours, as far as like Rhino like throwables in that
Yeah.
case. So yeah, I can't really escape that. You know, they're on every edge and border. It looks like.
Yeah.
Mhm. I I think it was there a way like that you could have fall back before
You know,
the
I was
surprise web
thinking
head.
about that. Yeah, because I hadn't thought about like you actually surprise web having him, and I think yeah, if I had done that, that would have probably been a much more interesting like a question in that case. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was probably my big mistake there is that I really missed the fallback opportunity there. I was pretty power starved, so I ended up not being able to play Mass Menace unfortunately. But maybe there should have been like I don't know like one instance like here like earlier maybe with Spider Woman or something and like I probably that was probably an opportunity I could have played that as well. Brace didn't come up because I wanted to save it for when Rhino actually threw some actual terrain. I didn't think keeping Cat on one was particularly helpful, like at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So yeah, in retrospect, there probably was a couple instances like probably could have played the tactics cards like a little better. So yeah, good call out, Mike.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I think that's it for this stream. So thank you guys for letting us stream the game, and then I just wanted to say that TGLord, good luck in your TTS League cut match that's happening tomorrow.
Thank you.
And Jin, I hopefully get to stream more of your games. You make a lot of great decisions, consistently strong decisions in your games, and you're a great player. So I'm
Yep.
I'm hoping I get a chance to stream more of your games in the future.
Oh, I'm very humbled, Lucas. Thank you so much, man, and thank you for doing all this as well.
Thank you
Yes.
for both of you for playing the event and Lucas for getting to stream
Hmm.
almost everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for the game, Jan.
All right, there we go. That's another game from the Montreal Shark Tank versus Pork Roll Protocol. Another game is currently happening on my backup channel, Rob versus Nick, and it's on Chic Gaming on Twitch. So give that a follow because when I am streaming a game here, and there's another game that I want to stream at the same time, and I'm one person, games will be streamed on that backup channel. So take a look at that, and I will catch you guys in a stream in the future. I'll be back for a cut game. For tomorrow, actually, I have a game 5, the last game of this event between Emil and Vodka Blitz is happening in the afternoon tomorrow, which I will be streaming. So come back for that. All right, see you guys later.